Have you ever stopped to think, I mean, really think,
Yeah.
what makes a city iconic, unforgettable?
Yeah, what lifts it from just being a place on a map?
Exactly. And for us, well, one city immediately jumps out, New York City,
Hard to argue with that one.
right? It's often called the beating heart of America. Its influence across finance, media, the arts.
Hmm.
It's just immense.
It's where trends often kick off, globally speaking.
And it's home to the United Nations. So, I mean, literally where the world gathers. So our mission in this deep dive is really to unlock the essential stuff about NYC's most famous attractions.
Okay.
We've dug into sources like 10 best attractions in New York, 10 most today, to give you, a kind of shortcut.
Get right to the core of why it's so celebrated.
Yeah, forget the overload. We want to distill the key insights. Why New York, with its huge subway, more monuments than anywhere else? Why it stands apart?
That makes sense. This approach should really help you get a quick handle on New York's essence. Why these attractions are so famous. What makes that skyline, well, instantly recognizable.
That skyline is something else.
It really is. And it ties into that saying, right? If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. These places sort of embody that spirit, ambition, energy.
Okay, so we've set the big picture scene. Let's zoom in now. A spot that really captures that New York pulse. Times Square.
Yes.
Times Square.
Often called the world's most famous square. And location-wise, it's right there at Broadway and 7th Avenue. Stretches, West 42nd to West 47th.
That's the stretch. And visually, an explosion is a good word for it.
It really is. Video screens, LED signs, flashing lights everywhere. You've probably seen pictures, but actually being there.
It's a whole different level of sensory input. It's almost frantic.
Yeah, it's the heart of commercial energy, right? And the source we looked at really emphasizes visiting at night. Oh, definitely. That's when the full effect hits you. Just ablaze with color and light. It's quite enchanting in its own way.
That constant energy, it's interesting how it connects to the bigger picture, the Manhattan skyline.
Absolutely. That skyline is recognizable worldwide. You see it, you know it's New York. Landmarks like the Empire State Building, Central Park nestled in there.
So if you want that iconic shot, where do you go? What does the source suggest?
Well, a few options. From across the river gives you that classic wide panorama.
Okay.
Or you could go up the Empire State Building itself. Tallest view, amazing vista. But obviously the Empire State Building isn't in your picture then.
Right, because you're standing on it.
Exactly. So for that shot, including the Empire State Building, the GE Building 30 Rock is often recommended.
30 Rockefeller Plaza.
Yeah. It's not quite as high, but you get the whole skyline laid out with the main feature, the Empire State Building, right in the middle. It's about the view you want, the story you're telling.
That's a great way to put it, the story. So what story does that combination tell you? The, intense energy of Times Square and then the grand sweep of the skyline.
For me, it speaks to New York's sheer scale and audacity. Times Square is like this focused blast of commerce and energy, the city's hustle right in your face. And the skyline, that's the monument to its ambition. Dreams built literally sky high. Together they say, look at us, we're big, we're bold, we reach high.
That ambition is not just in steel and glass, is it? There are deeper symbols, too. Let's shift gears from modern dazzle to maybe its most famous icon, the Statue of Liberty.
Lady Liberty.
She's right there on Liberty Island in Manhattan.
Yep.
Dedicated way back on October 28, 1886. It was a gift, right?
Yeah, a gift from the people of France to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the U.S. Declaration of Independence.
Quite a gesture. And it became this universal symbol of freedom, of the U.S. itself. A welcoming sign for immigrants arriving, hoping for a new start.
It's powerful symbolism. And it's interesting to connect that welcoming ideal, that beacon to the world, with another huge New York feature, Central Park.
How so? They seem so different.
Well, the statue welcomes the world to the city, while Central Park welcomes the city's people to nature, to respite. It's a different kind of welcome, maybe, an internal one.
I like that. An internal sanctuary.
Exactly. It opened back in 1857, right in the middle of Manhattan. It's actually the most visited urban park in the U.S., 35 million visitors a year, apparently.
Wow. 35 million.
It's huge, over 800 acres. You've got landmarks inside it like Belvedere Castle, the Reservoir, Bethesda Fountain. It's this incredible piece of landscape design, a green heart in the concrete jungle.
So both represent a kind of grand vision for human experience in the city.
I think so. One looking outward, one providing solace inward.
And speaking of grand visions built into the city,
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Brooklyn Bridge.
Ah, another icon. A true engineering marvel for its time.
Completed in 1883. One of the oldest suspension bridges in the U.S., and definitely one of the most famous bridges, well, anywhere.
Connecting Manhattan and Brooklyn over the East River.
And that main span, nearly 1,600 feet. That was the longest suspension bridge in the world when it opened, wasn't it? Until 1903.
Just imagine building that back then. The audacity, the engineering, suspending this huge roadway purely on cables over a major river. It didn't just connect land, it connected cultures, really helped Brooklyn grow.
Absolutely. And walking across is still a huge thing for tourists, right?
Wow.
All 5,989 feet of it, taking in the views, the history.
It is. And that sense of human ingenuity, that scale represented by the bridge, it finds a very different, very profound echo in another site. The September 11 Memorial and Museum.
Right. A very different kind of landmark.
Extremely different. Located right there at the World Trade Center site where the Twin Towers stood, it really speaks to the city's resilience, just like the bridge does, but in such a contrasting context.
The bridge symbolizing connection and upward growth.
And the memorial symbolizing remembrance, resilience after unimaginable loss. Our source calls it a must visit for anyone who remembers that awful day in 2001. It's a space for reflection, for honoring memory.
It's essential history. Okay, so from these major structures and memorials, let's move into another huge part of New York's identity. Its cultural institutions. The museums are just world-class.
It's unbelievable, really. Where do you even start?
Well, let's start with the big one, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Met.
The Met, yeah, it's vast. The largest museum in the Western Hemisphere, and easily one of the best anywhere.
It feels like you could spend days in there. The collection has over 2 million items.
That's the number.
Yeah.
From all over the world, all eras. You can walk from, say, ancient Egyptian artifacts. They have the Tomb of Perneb, the Temple of Dender, straight into galleries filled with European masters. Botticelli, Rembrandt, Vermeer, Degas, Rodin. It's like a journey through time and global culture, all under one roof.
And then just across the park.
Right, the American Museum of Natural History. Established back in 1869, another giant.
How big are we talking?
27 buildings, 45 permanent exhibitions, a planetarium, a library. It's huge. And the collection itself has over 32 million specimens.
32 million, what kind of things?
Everything. Plants, human remains, animals, fossils, minerals, rocks, meteorites, cultural artifacts. It's this massive archive of life on Earth and human history.
Okay.
And what's amazing is only a fraction of that is actually on display for the 5 million people who visit each year. Gives you a sense of the depth there.
That's incredible. Okay, so we have ancient history, natural history. What about modern art?
Then you've got MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art.
Often called the most important modern art museum in the world.
It gets over 3 million visitors a year, and its collection covers, well, everything modern and contemporary. Painting, sculpture, drawing, photography, prints, film, even electronic media now.
And its location's pretty prime too, right?
Yeah.
53rd Street between 5th and 6th Avenues.
Right in the thick of things, which kind of leads us nicely to Fifth Avenue itself. The shopping mecca.
Exactly. The source highlights it as one of the world's absolute top shopping streets. Packed with high-end department stores, designer boutiques.
It's ranked among the most expensive streets globally, isn't it?
Consistently. And it apparently has a special magic around Christmas time. Those window displays become huge attractions on their own. It's like theater, the theater of commerce.
So you've got these incredible museums housing millennia of art and history, and then right there, this pinnacle of modern fashion and commerce. It's quite a mix.
It really is.
How do you think that sheer diversity, that scope from ancient tombs to high fashion, shapes the experience for someone visiting? What makes that New York?
I think it's the density, the sheer concentration of world-class experiences in one place. You can literally walk through centuries of art history in the morning and then step out onto one of the most glamorous shopping avenues on the planet in the afternoon. It speaks to the city's capacity to hold everything, you know, to offer something for absolute every taste, every curiosity, every desire, all packed together. It encourages discovery, doesn't it? You turn a corner and there's something else amazing.
Precisely. It's a city built for exploration.
So we've covered a lot. A real whirlwind tour from the buzz of Times Square and that iconic skyline.
To the symbolism of the Statue of Liberty and the green haven of Central Park.
Right. And the engineering feat of the Brooklyn Bridge, the importance of the 9/11 Memorial.
And then the cultural tower houses, the Met, Natural History, MoMA.
All culminating perhaps on Fifth Avenue with its world-class shopping. It really feels like a city that has well, almost everything. The best shopping, the best museums.
It's an overwhelming offering, in a good way. This deep dive gives such a unique angle on why New York holds this allure. As you've been thinking through these different spots, what connections or patterns really jumped out at you? What, for you, defines the city's character across all these diverse places?
That's a great question to ponder. And maybe for you listening, think about this. New York is this unique global hub for so many different things: business, culture, art, freedom, fashion, you name it. How do all these attractions we've talked about, seemingly so different, actually work together? How do they amplify each other to create that feeling, that enduring myth of New York as the place where, like we said, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere? What does that potent mix truly reveal about the city's soul? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.